Boing, 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 boing. Welcome to Darzzr on... Where am I? It's B00's DubTown server. So this is Darzzr on DubTown. And this is B00's Patreon server. And it's been a while since I've been doing Minecraft. I've been playing all kinds of other things. But when this server popped up and I discovered that it was being modded by Vexy and Miguel, and that CQ was on it and everything, it seemed, well, this is a bit like the old gang getting back together again. And of course, there's lots of new people too. This is just a little update on what I've been building and how things are going. So I've been on here for a few days now. Basically, I got whitelisted at the weekend, and I've been busy. This is one of the community builds. This is the latest community build area. It is the jungle area, the jungle community build. This is the community area. There's basically a little storage. That's where we trap CQ. And this is the guide palette for the blocks that are being used. Little storage area. I didn't build any of this stuff, but the stuff that I have built is this, my treehouse. So far, the tallest building in the jungle build. Off in that direction is what will be the new Black Cove Bay. That's Vexy and Miguel. You can see there's another tall building behind my sky tree. It's not my building, so I'll just quickly show it to you. There you go. It's looking really grand, but oh, that's a tree that's also being built. So hey, it's all happening. It's all happening. There's no real overall guidelines as to what things are, although we've kind of decided that apart from Black Cove Bay, most things will be tree houses. Now, I hope that the frame rate won't cause too many glitches, because this has been a while since I last recorded Minecraft. And I've actually switched jobs, so I've been running a lot of other stuff on this computer earlier today, so I haven't actually rebooted first, so we'll see how it performs. Now, great being part of a really active server again as well. You know, there's just so much going on. Every time you log on, things are different. And it makes it so much more exciting again. You know, you just see it all happening all around you, you know. So this is the actual living quarters inside the tree. When you get to the top, you've got these walls of leaves and plenty of little paintings, and there's little potted plants and chairs and tables. The basic Minecraft accoutrements, really. And when we get up to the top, by the way, I've left these floors kind of deliberately inconsistent. The sizes aren't equal. There are leaves stuck in the middle of where there's wood. The idea is that this is, in quotes, a natural tree in which a house has been built. So it follows the natural contours of the tree, rather than the tree being constructed to have a living quarter inside it. Now, of course, that's not true. I mean, the way this was actually built is there are 3 jungle trees stacked on top of each other, forming the core, with a further jungle tree on the top, where you can see where that was planted. There are a large number of other trees planted within the canopy of this tree. Initially, those were just to mark, extra branches going off the side. But towards the top, I realised that by moving the leaves out so that they formed this kind of bubble, you ended up with space for living quarters. And at first, I just put this very basic bed and little potato farm up at the top. But as I carried on down, I realised that there was actually space for further floors. So we have a second floor, and we have a third floor that you can see there, and even a fourth floor down here. And I like to get the feel that whoever, well, this is my sky tree, but But there are kind of parties that go on here, sophisticated parties where people will look at the art and sit down with a sophisticated drink on a wooden table and pot plants next to them, and maybe talk about karate. I don't know. Now we've got these little offshoot branches. These I initially made as is, and then I just put a tree at the end of them, surrounding them with leaves. In some ways, I'm not totally happy with those, because when you look at them from the ground, which we will go back down to the ground in just a second, you can easily tell that they're just flat at the base. So I might do a little bit of climbing up and put some extra leaves underneath. Although I have been putting vines on everything to try and give it that extra bit of coverage, because, you know, let's be honest, vines cover a multitude of mistakes. So, and it fits in with the jungle theme, so you can't complain about that, really. And we get down to the bottom. You would have also seen that I created a kind of little jetty here with a little boat. That's because the that building over there has a long and winding walkway down to the river's edge, and I thought, that's rather neat. I think that we would travel by boat through the jungle, because there won't really be many, if any, roadways actually at floor level. So I think that will be the way that people get about. Now I won't show you anybody else's builds around here, partly because I don't entirely know what's going on. That's part of the fun of it. But also because, you know, that's up to other people. There seem to have been some cakes arrive. I don't know if somebody had a birthday or if that's just the presence of CQ. But we'll use the teleport to Spawn Castle. Da-da-da. Now, what's going on here? This is, of course, the Spawn Castle. If you've been watching BW, you've probably seen this. And this is where I live. I head out here. I'm on the west side, which is the best side. Not the east side, which is the least side. So you can see that. So there are people that claim the south side is the fun side. As you know, they've put loads of these signs out, but that doesn't rhyme, so it can't be true. Possibly the south side is the mouth side, because they just seem to just talk all the time. Right, let's see. There's some good landmarks around here, and the sun's already going down. My area happens to be close to the gigantic slime farm, so I do end up with a lot of mobs. I recently got hold of a cat, so that should at least keep the creepers away. That ship there is a useful landmark for finding my way to where I live. This little forest we will go through. This road should take me exactly where I need to go. CQ's house is just over the other side of that wooden block, actually, I think. That wooden block, I believe, is under construction by Joe Breezy. And it would start raining, wouldn't it? Under there is the slime farm. And this is a tavern. And I can't remember who runs that now. And up we go here, past this little forest of acacia. Oh, that's not my rabbit, but here we go, Darzzr land. Oh, let's just go round the corner here. Just quickly show you my banner. That's the town hall for the west side, still under construction. That's CQ's place, just over there. That is my banner. What is it? It's the soap dispenser. There we go. Surprisingly difficult to make the soap dispenser in a banner, but there you go. Now, we'll go into the house. Described by many as that acacia thing. Hello, cat. Haven't got a name for the cat yet, because I haven't got a name tag yet. I know I need to furnish this, but I've been focusing really on the tree. There's a little map showing the current location. That's the West Side Town Hall. That's my place. And oh, there's a little room here. I keep meaning to put some little chairs here, because this is like a little relaxed sort of viewing room across the water. You can see other buildings and so on, and get the telescope out and monitor what's going on in CQ's house. As ever, there's a voluminous roof space, which I haven't used anything for yet. Diorite roof. I might well change the roof, because diorite, I just happen to have a lot of it. In some ways I like this design, but B00 will be changing the texture pack so it will look more like cobble. And a cobble roof is kind of unimaginative. I will just have to wait and see. I could replace it with polished diorite, or let's face it, there's loads of other possibilities. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how it looks when it changes. Down here, this is a potato farm, of course. We always have a potato farm. And this checked pattern now, of course, continues onto the roof with polished diorite edging the floor, which I think that, together with the acacia, it gives it rather a nice feel. And the space, I just like having wide open spaces in Minecraft. That's another reason that I am very loath to actually furnish areas like this, because it just seems you lose that space, you know. So we continue down here. We can either go down, there's some steps down there, or there's that ladder there. This actually goes nowhere. It's purely for symmetry with the other side. Actually, we'll go down the steps. So continue down here to a dramatically different aesthetic down here. We've got a livestock farm down here, which I brought in from the surface. And you'll notice that we have a lot of flowing water behind glass. This is kind of different from the way I would normally design something, but the plot that I took over actually had the remnants of a previous building underneath. And really you had this bed area and a little area here going up here through this ladder to the top. That was the only access originally. This is the ladder that goes through the in the corner of that room, and it goes all the way up to the top. And I thought, well, it's useful to have a bed, so of course that was that saved me making a bed initially. But I've expanded this considerably. I've moved what was originally an infinite water source and some crafting equipment. I've dug all this out to make a new storage area, enchanting area, and so on. This was an attempt to create a netherrack banner, which it came out far too pink. I should have added some black to it, but at the same time, having created the banner, I kind of thought, silly to waste it. Let's just use it for a little splash of colour downstairs against all this grey and blue. But anyway, I continued this flowing water and glass motif through this sort of gallery here, right the way up to this side, and then I used this area for a wheat farm and a sugar farm. Also, because of the way the room above was built, I ended up with these kind of lines of acacia, which I then continued across the ceiling, and used that as well as the basis for the water channel here. And of course, the one advantage with the just the shape of this room is that water channel is also perfectly placed to keep all this wheat hydrated, or irrigated is the word I'm looking for. So that's the way that works. This downstairs area is more or less functional, really. That's it doesn't really need finishing any further. I should say I got this little computer here. This little computer, look at it. It's of course a player head, not from one of the players on this server, but it was a reward for collecting Easter eggs, sort of an Easter egg hunt. Now, as it happens, although I did find 2 Easter eggs, The bulk of the Easter eggs that I actually collected were actually given to me on my first day by somebody who had tons. So, but the mods decided to still honour it, so I got myself a little computer workstation here, and that's basically the build as it stands. I did have a dog again on my first day, just as I was coming down to this plot. Vexy and I spotted a dog, and I tamed it, and I had it here. Of course, it doesn't keep creepers away, but it was great, and I was going to call it Sebastian. And I took, but I thought everything that I have, is basically down here at this bottom level. So I thought I'll bring the dog down here, and of course, what happens is dog glitches through this glass here into the water, and I try removing the glass, but by the time I've done it, the dog has drowned. So yeah, this isn't exactly a pet safe area. It is a bit annoying that I lost the dog, but like I said, a cat is more useful, and of course the cat I got at the jungle and brought back. So, rain notwithstanding, that is how things stand on DubTown today. Almost inclined to tie this little guy up to my front gate. No, remain free. There's all this place to explore. Go on, don't just hang around my place. And yeah, so that's Darzzr on DubTown, and I will hopefully keep things up to date as we continue with community builds and fun and games. So please remember to like and subscribe, and off we go again.